Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on Football Planet. Can't avoid the cliche. Happy New Year. I'm Raziah Athman with the latest from the soccer world. The headlines. He grew up in a poverty-stricken neighborhood in Monrovia, but now the poor son of Liberia is the president of the country. Can he deliver politically as much as he did in soccer? We're looking at George Weah's football career. And Uganda's football pitch is no easy match, but a Frenchman is vowing to take the national team to the next level. And also, it's been a year of losses and victories in the world of football. We have the top African soccer stories on the lineup for you. Today is the day to give thanks. Let us begin by lifting our eyes to heaven to thank God. These are the opening lines for George Weah's presidential victory speech. There's huge expectations for the man whose humble background and football fame pushed him to the top leadership position in Liberia. We talk of Weah's stardom, and this is George Weah's soccer career.
A hero on the pitch, George Weah has now to prove whether he learned anything from football. Born in 1966, his soccer career started with local leagues in Liberia, but it was a trip to Cameroon that marked a turning point in his football career. This is when a Cameroonian coach discovered him and introduced him to Arsène Wenger, who managed Monaco at that time. Weah moved to Europe in 1988. During his stint with Monaco, he won the African Footballer of the Year. Weah then joined Paris Saint-Germain until 1995. Weah, with a stake of successful performances, won the Ballon d'Or, the Onze d'Or, and was named FIFA World Player of the Year in 1995. He's the only African to have ever won this award in history. Weah was signed onto the English Premier League club Chelsea on loan from Milan. In the same year, he moved to English Premier League side Manchester City on a free transfer on a 2-year contract. Later played with Al Jazeera, where he stayed from 2001 to 2003, when he retired at age 37. Yearned for his country's victory, he did very well in clubs, but Liberia only got close to qualifying for World Cup in 2002.
Now, French tactician Sébastien Desabre was unveiled on Thursday as the new Uganda Cranes coach to replace Serbian coach Milutin Sredojevic. Sébastien knows the tasks ahead and had this to say at the press conference.
It's my next step in Africa. I played 200 matches in Africa and in 21 different countries. I play 4 Champions League, 2 semi-finals in Champions League, 1 time in CAF Cup. And for me, I think it's a moment. It's not a problem about the contract, it's a problem about the project.
And for more, we have sports analyst Clive Chaze joining us from Kampala. Hello, Clive, and thank you for speaking to us. Now, Sébastien has the experience working with clubs around Africa, but this is a national team with certainly a lot more work to do for it to be able to perform well on the continent. So what specifically is Sébastien bringing to the table or to the team?
Well, he comes with a lot of experience. Like you've said, he has never coached the national team. This is his first job as national team coach. But for somebody who has coached in Cameroon, in Ivory Coast, in Tunisia, in Morocco, in Egypt, obviously he comes with a lot of experience. He's been in Africa since 2004. We are talking of a man who has been on the continent for close to 13 years now, which gives me a feeling that he will be able to succeed if given time. He has come on short notice. Of course, a tournament coming around in January, that's in Morocco. But I don't believe that we should judge him on that. We should give him ample time. We'll have ample time between now and August, the next AFCON qualifier. So probably by then, he would have had ample time to study the players, the environment, and all that. But there's no doubt that he comes in with a lot of experience.
Now, the Uganda Cranes is a team that has suffered a lack of support from government, and the players will always blame that. No finance. First, what do you think is more important for a team? Is it money or talent? And how is the new coach going to deal with this specific challenge?
Well, of course, obviously, you will need talent to succeed. you'll need money to develop that talent. You'll need money to keep that talent motivated and all that. FIFA has been working with government to see that they bring and coach on board. Though they have not come out to confirm it, but it looks like FIFA will be in charge of paying Sébastien salary and remuneration. That means that the trouble of taking care of the coach will be taken care of by government. But of course, like I said, he's a man that comes in with a lot of experience. Uganda is a country that is endowed with a lot of talent. The current FIFA Federation under Moses Magogo has been trying a lot to improve their working relationship with government, especially in terms of finances, in terms of money. We cannot say that government has fully come out on board to support them, but at least the behavior or the tone or the relationship towards the national team is beginning to change. Government can come in once in a while.
Let's now talk about the task coming up right ahead when the Uganda Cranes play in the African Nations Championships in Morocco.
I should say we shouldn't raise our hopes so high. It is the fourth straight time that Uganda is going for this championship. We've never gotten out of the group stages. We hope that we can break the jinx this time round and probably try to qualify for the group stages. It's a tournament for purely local best players. Most of the players that are traveling with the team will be going there for the second time or third time or something like that. We have a number of first-timers. Sébastien started training with the national team on Friday. He had a crop of 36. He has already toned it down to 27. He will need to tone it down to 23 before the team flies out on the 3rd. But of course, like I said, personally, I don't expect much. I shouldn't expect Uganda to expect much from the team. But at least for a team going there for the third straight year, or rather fourth straight actual appearance, they should try and qualify out of the group stages and probably make it for the knockout stages.
Great insights there from Clive Chaze. Let us now move to the much-anticipated games kicking off on 12th January. Before the Morocco venue was decided, the rights were for Kenya, but the country was stripped off for ill preparation of the 2018 African Nations Championship. Each squad will have a maximum of 23 members, and it will be scored with 7 points for winner, 5 points, runner-up 3 points, into semi-finalists and 2 points for quarter-finalists, and 1 point for the group stage. Now here's what the groups look like. We have Group A with Morocco, Guinea, Sudan and Mauritania. And we do have Group B with Ivory Coast, Zambia and Uganda, Namibia. We have Group C with Libya, one-time winner, Rwanda and Equatorial Guinea. And in Group D, we do have Angola, Cameroon, Congo, and Burkina Faso. The matches will be played in Casablanca, Marrakech, Agadir, and Tangier. And this is the 5th edition of the CHAN Games, ending on 4th February 2018. Now, the Democratic Republic of Congo has won these CHAN Games twice, and Tunisia and Libya once. We'll be watching out here at Football Planet. So who are you rooting for? Don't answer me now. Let's take that to Twitter. My handle is @Raziah Athman. Now, if you followed football in 2017, you might have seen for sure that nothing is guaranteed, from stadium disasters to CAF reforms and the 2018 World Cup qualifiers. These are some of the biggest stories as we saw it here last year.
It has 365 of emphatic wins and losses. The pitches in Africa were opened by those who are impossible to defeat, at least going by what their name suggests. The indomitable Lions of Cameroon roared to victory in the African Cup of Nations in February when they beat Egypt in the finals. It was a tournament they played against so many odds, including a row over bonuses and dislike for their coach, Hugo Broos. The 2-1 seal against Egypt's 2-1 made it their 5th Africa Cup of Nations victory. Then came the tide that carried off Issa Yahatu from the helm of African football. Ahmad Ahmad's victory at the Confederation of African Football CAF election was a shock. Ahmad Ahmad had been the president of Madagascar's Football Association, representing the Southern African Zone in the Executive Committee of CAF since 2013. His triumph was far from expectation, Going through in a secret ballot in Addis Ababa, he pulled 34 votes over the much-fancied incumbent Issa Yahatu, who garnered 20. This ended Yahatu's 29 years of leadership at CAF. The cheers from the delegation only symbolized the new era that was to come for African football. And indeed, things became a little tough. Over strict conditions, Kenya lost the right to host the 2018 African Nations Championship CHAN after a Confederation of African Football CAF executive meeting in Accra, which was held by Ahmad. The decision was made in light of accumulated delays from reports of the various inspection missions conducted in the country. The 16-team tournament for locally based players only is scheduled to take place between the 12th of January and 14th of February 2018. South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns achieved a memorable feat, winning the 2017 CAF Super Cup after beating Congolese giant TP Mazembe. And again, Kenya beat Zanzibar 3-2 to clinch the 2017 CECAFA title in December. It was on penalties after the game had ended 2-2, but like they always say, the winner takes it all.
Now, a story we all want to leave behind in 2017 is that of having everything at one point and then losing it all in the blink of an eye. It never got any easier for these football stars who went from riches to rags.
The story of rags to riches can turn around to riches to rags. And that's the story of many African footballers. The most recent, Emmanuel Eboué, former Arsenal player between 2005 and 2011, who earned millions but was reduced to near homelessness, lost everything and got suicidal after a bad divorce. Galatasaray extended a helping hand, offering him an assistant coach job for their junior team in Turkey. But Ivorian Eboué is not the only player who has fallen far from stardom. Celestine Babayaro from Nigeria once played along JJ Okocha, Daniel Amokachi and Nwankwo Kanu, but the former Newcastle defender and midfielder ran bankrupt. Cameroonian footballer Eric Njabanjaba earned €75,000 per month at Manchester United, but in 2013 he was divorced with 4 children. Then followed a series of loans whose repayments led him to bankruptcy. The list of riches to rags goes on. Jamaican Jason Ewell ended up in a financial strife, having played for more than 15 years. Carl Cott, David James, and there are many more local players who are reduced from talented footballers to languishing in poverty.
And that's it for Football Planet this week. From me and the entire team here, do have a wonderful 2018. See you soon.